Explore my world, honeybees. Look, a honeybee! Buzzing through a warm afternoon, a little worker bee dips into colorful flowers again and again and again. From each flower, she collects a sweet liquid called nectar. She sips the runny nectar through her straw like tongue and stores it in a special just for honey tummy. A honeybee visits hundreds of flowers a day, testing each one with its feet. The tongue is called a proboscis. Flower pollen dusts the bee like fluffy golden snow. Every once in a while, she stops, rolls the pollen into balls, and stuffs these into tiny sacs on her back legs. When the bee is so heavy with nectar and pollen she can barely fly, she heads home to the hive. Thousands of other workers are arriving home too. Inside the hive, the air hums with excitement. Bees bustle to and fro. The whole colony works together for its queen. As long as she is safe and healthy, so is the hive. Worker bees bring her food and carry out her waste. They fan their wings to keep the hive cool. One of the most important jobs in the hive is caring for the queen's many eggs. This is a honeybee egg right there. A hive is made up of many honeycombs. Through spring and summer, she lays up to 2,000 eggs per day. She wiggles her abdomen down into a honeycomb and drops each egg into its own six-celled wall. Hey, that's a hexagon. An egg shell melts away, and hello, larva! The chunky baby looks nothing like a bee yet. For 3 days, the larva is fed a milky mush called royal jelly, and then it's switched to a honey pollen mixture called bee bread. Each larva weaves a cocoon. Inside, its body keeps growing and changing. Finally, a honeybee chews open its cocoon and climbs out of its cozy cell. Ta-da! Honeybees keep their hive clean and neat, so the new bee's first job is to clean her room. Hey, there's a beekeeper. Hives can be found in unusual places. Many honeybees live in human-made hives. A beekeeper opens a hive to remove part of its sticky golden honey. Yum! Bye-bye, Buzzy. Hope you find a lot of lovely flowers. There's plenty of work to do in a honeybee hive. Every worker does each of these jobs in order, moving from one to the next every few days during her 6 weeks of life. Number 1, they clean out the cells. Number 2, they feed the queen and larva. Number 3, they build and repair honeycombs. Number 4, they make honey from nectar. Number 5, they guard the hive entrance. Number 6, fly out to collect nectar. More honey, please. Bees make honey from nectar, flower nectar. They store it in the topmost cells of their honeycomb. They eat both honey and pollen. In one day, a worker bee brings home enough nectar to make only a tiny bit of honey, but a hive might have 50,000 or more bees. Working together, they can make as much as 2 pounds of honey per day. That's enough to fill 2 canning jars. When bees fly over from flower to flower, tiny grains of pollen stick to their feet and then they get dropped on another flower. That's called pollination, and it's what helps flowers make more flowers. Bees pollinate many crops too. Without bees, we wouldn't enjoy things like apples, blueberries, cherries, cucumbers, strawberries, or melons. Bees are important to many ecosystems. You can help them by planting nectar-rich flowers like daisies and marigolds and blue flowers like salvia. Bees seem to like the color blue. You might also plant any of the fruits or berries mentioned above, as well as broccoli, pumpkins, and tomatoes. Look at that. When a worker bee returns to the hive, it sometimes does a waggle dance. This special wiggle waggle moves are actually directions that show other workers where to find flowers. Can you look at the picture and waggle dance like a honeybee? That looks fun. We are finished. Look at that, we got points. Good job. Hope you enjoyed the book. We'll talk later.